Hi everyone, welcome to our Wednesday TNT, a quick whip around of all the main stories from around Thailand and the kids all making their way to school for the morning. You'll hear the odd motorbike whipping past, sort of Turtle Beach peak hour if you like. Let's get stuck into the stories, and this has been, well, sort of announced now. The Thai Cabinet approves extended bar hours, official duration and areas to be announced tomorrow, which is today. So it looks like the wish of the bar owners and night spot venue owners to increase the official closing time from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. has been approved, and the PattayaNews.com reporting the Thai Cabinet has approved in principle the extension of operating hours for entertainment venues, but the official duration and areas where it will take effect is still waiting for a final decision by the Ministry of Interior, which is set to meet, that's today. The current proposal is to extend the closing hours by 2 hours, shifting from the original 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. The new operating time will likely be applied to areas popular with tourists, such as Pattaya and Phuket. Of course, this is all a bit of a show. A lot of these venues stay open well past the official 2 a.m. closing time anyway. I think the only people that won't be happy might be a few police that could be missing out on a few brown paper bags, allegedly. But it's not all plain sailing, because alcohol sales banned for end of Buddhist Lent this coming Sunday. Looks like a cat might have walked over the keyboard there. And it says the end, oh no, there's more keyboard errors, maybe something a bit bigger than a cat. The end of Buddhist Lent this year will be on Sunday, October the 29th, when alcohol sales will be banned nationwide for 24 hours. Now, don't go putting your hands on your hips and shaking your head. This is what happens on any of the big Buddhist holidays. The end of Buddhist Lent, also called, oh good heavens, Akhokapancha, I think it's in Klingon, in Thai, falls on the 15th day of the 11th waxing moon. The day marks the end of the rainy season for monks who will end their 3-month retreats. And alcohol sales will be banned for 24 hours nationwide at the end of Buddhist Lent, except at duty-free shops at international airports, according to the Alcohol Control Act. Anyone who breaks the law will be fined up to 10,000 baht, extremely unlikely. And the end of Buddhist Lent is one of the 5 major Buddhist holidays, and the official ban is from midnight to midnight, which would run from Saturday night the 28th to Sunday night, Monday morning, that's Sunday night the 29th of October. That story published in the PattayaNews.com. Bringing you up to date with all the latest daily Thai news. Please subscribe to the channel, that would be much appreciated. We go to nationthailand.com reporting Cabinet OKs 2.5 baht cut to gasohol 91 excise tax for the next 3 months. And at its weekly meeting this week, the Cabinet agreed in principle to approve the excise cut for 3 months. The government stands to lose about 1 billion baht in revenue. So, well, we're all paying for it in the end. Well, all of us that are taxpayers anyway. And gasohol 91 petrol is a blend of 91 octane gasoline and 10% ethanol, and it's called E10 petrol. What's the stuff that I put in my Honda? I think a lot of cars run on this 91 blend here in Thailand. Now to this pamphlet that somebody sent me yesterday, and this is I'm a traveller, not a tourist pack. Let's see what's inside. It includes elephant pants, Sangsom bucket, a 7-Eleven gift card, Chang Leo wife beater, I think that's a nickname for a singlet, isn't it? Temporary wanderlust tattoo, full moon party ticket, a guitar to annoy your hotel mates, not included, shampoo, money, or a return flight. I'm quite proud to say that my wardrobe doesn't include one of these ubiquitous pairs of elephant pants. On with some more news, and we go to bangkokpost.com. Cabinet sets 4-day New Year holiday, and the Cabinet's agreed to declare a 4-day New Year public holiday. Now, this is the Western New Year, not the Thai New Year or the Chinese New Year. Lots of New Years around here. And the holiday will be from Friday, December the 29th, to Monday, January the 1st, inclusive. And officials have already proposed a longer holiday for the following New Year. That'll be 5 days from December the 28th to January the 1st, 2025. just in case you're making any long-term plans for holidays. And also from the Bangkok Post, air pollution will be worse this season, something we or the new government really don't want to hear, but this is a long-term prediction based on weather models. And the Pollution Control Department is warning that ultra-fine dust particles will be worse this harvest season than last year because of drier weather and will peak in February. Now, last year was particularly bad. Any warnings that it's going to be worse this year, I think, will be extremely unwelcome. And Director of the department said the dust pollution this year will be worse than last year because of drier weather. The dust will gradually increase, become high in January and peak in February. And the Industry Ministry recently also blamed ultrafine dust pollution on sugarcane burn-off, saying it affected about 44 million people for about 6 months every year. So it behoves us to check the air quality report from IQ Air, and this is Bangkok. I've just put a red circle down there to the southwest of Bangkok, where it seems we've got some of those red circles, and it looks like the world AQI ranking. We've got Lahore in Pakistan, which often appears at the number one spot. No Thai cities in that list today, noting that Vietnam and China and India also figure highly with that high air pollution index. And BangkokPost.com reporting that Sutan eyes cheaper Chinese ship. This is a follow-up to yesterday's story about the swap from a submarine to a frigate, and the Defence Minister giving some more details. And he says he would assign the Navy to initiate negotiations with China aimed at lowering the price of a frigate in light of the government's decision to procure such a vessel instead of a submarine. He says the talks involve revising their initial agreement rather than amending the contract, meaning the dialogue is a matter between the Navy and the Chinese company. So I think the government itself is trying to distance itself from some of these decisions and also from some of the potential loss of face. And the decision to switch to a frigate instead has caused a stir because it's estimated to cost about 17 billion baht, several billion more than the submarine the Navy had ordered, and critics question why Thailand has to pay more when China is unable to honour its contractual obligations. The minister said the Navy came armed with two proposals when it asked to consider alternatives. One was to buy a frigate and the other was to purchase an offshore patrol vessel. The government chose the frigate. And asked about whether a refund should be sought, he said the government would negotiate on the submarine to frigate swap before considering other arrangements. So I don't think that's the last we've heard of that particular debacle, and those negotiations continue. Now, the Prime Minister back in Thailand and bringing us up to date with the situation with Thais repatriating from Israel, and nationthailand.com reporting no confirmation on whether Thais will be among 50 Hamas hostages to be freed today. That reported on Tuesday. We haven't heard any update. Let's see what the situation is. The Foreign Ministry is keeping its fingers crossed and hoping Thai workers will be among the 50 hostages Hamas militants are expected to release on Tuesday. And so far it's been confirmed that 19 Thai workers were taken hostage by Hamas. And the Foreign Ministry saying we're still checking to see if Thais are among the 50 hostages expected to be freed by Hamas. Thailand's been using all channels to try and secure their freedom. There's no way to affirm if they're still safe. However, he said the Thai government has been able to confirm that Thai workers are not being targeted by Hamas militants. And Nation Thailand also reporting that the Prime Minister slams the Israeli employers for tempting Thai workers to stay with more money. And the Prime Minister said yesterday that he's lodged a complaint with the Israeli ambassador about employers in Israel offering Thai workers more money to tempt them into staying. The Premier has been calling on all Thai workers to leave Israel, but many have chosen to put their lives at risk for the sake of higher salaries. The Prime Minister said, "I've aired my dissatisfaction by saying they should not have used money to tempt Thai workers. It's not right for them to do so." And the Premier added that he's also informed the ambassador about many workers complaining that the payment of their October salary has been postponed to November the 10th. The ambassador responded by saying she'd not heard about this and would find out more. So a lot of work being done by the Prime Minister and the government to try and repatriate Thais safely and quickly from that conflict. Hi, just a quick interruption, and happy to report there's only one boat left here this morning. All their other boats are out. 5-Star Marine taking people out on bespoke VIP charter tours off the island of Phuket. Now, if you'd like some more information, there's a link in the description below. You can even click on that website or type it into your Google machine. But thank you to my sponsors, 5-Star Marine. Now, an article published in PattayaMail.com, probably more of an opinion piece. It's been written by Barry Kenyon, and it's called The Ifs and Buts of Thailand's New Friendship with Russia. I suppose it follows up those photos of the handshake between the Thai Prime Minister and the Russian President. And it says the Western democracies are still trying to fathom why Thai Party Premier Seta Thavisin had his photo publicly taken with President Putin at the recent Belt and Road Summit in China while inviting the Russian leader for a state visit. Critical social media suggests it was a bad idea because Seta's international claim to represent democracy and human rights has hit the proverbial iceberg. Not to mention the negative effects on tourism from traditional markets in America, Europe and Australia. I don't think there's any evidence at this stage to show that there's any fallout from tourists in some Western markets. On the other hand, it says international tourist numbers to Thailand has seldom been affected by the domestic situation for more than a few weeks, even post-coup. But Barry says, examined from a Thai perspective, the issue looks different. Thailand has had diplomatic relations with Russia for 125 years, and the celebrations last year did not attract any adverse international comment. Indeed, the last Tsar Nicholas II is commonly credited with helping save Thailand from imperialist aggression by foreign powers. And in 1996, Russia became a fully fledged dialogue partner with the 10-nation ASEAN group, in which Thailand has the second largest economy. And Russia was silent when the Thai coup of 2014 occurred, and under the leadership of General Prayut Chan-o-cha, warm relationships continued. And a bit further down there, as regards Ukraine, Thailand initially voted at the UN in March 2022 to condemn Russian aggression, but has abstained from later votes condemning the annexation of the occupied territories. And then it notes in the last sentence, all these developments occurred well before Seta became the Thai Premier. And Putin has also accepted a state visit invitation from Vietnam. In this context, it's worth remembering that Joe Biden's trip to Hanoi in 2023 saw an upgrading of ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership between the US and Vietnam. Vietnam's policy has to be seen in context, namely to avoid being too committed to one side or the other. And similarly, Seta will visit San Francisco in the US in November 2023 to attend the summit of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation. And then a quote there from a political analyst who says Seta's not turned to Putin at the expense of the West, he wants both. The article written by Barry Kenyon and published in PattayaMail.com. I'll put a link in the description if you'd like to read the full article. Wednesday's TNT, and an invitation to subscribe to the channel if you get a chance. And we go to the PattayaNews.com, world-class jazz icon Kenny G to perform at upcoming Pattaya International Jazz Festival. And that's going to be on the 10th and 11th of November 2023 at Pattaya Beach. Just wondering whether Kenny G's really jazz. Would have called it perhaps easy listening music or instrumental. Not sure whether it's very jazzy, but Kenny G, whose first name is Kenneth Bruce Gorlick, is one of the most successful and best-selling instrumental musicians of all time. And Kenny G gained fame for his smooth and melodic style of playing the saxophone. Now, I think Songbird is the best-known song from him, but if Kenny G is not your style, perhaps Ed Sheeran. Coconuts.co reporting Ed Sheeran announces Bangkok stop for 2024 tour. And chart topper and Rupert Grint doppelganger Ed Sheeran is coming to Bangkok next year. And the ginger-haired crooner announced the Asian leg of his mathematics tour. And his Bangkok show is scheduled for February the 10th at the Rajamangala Stadium. That's a huge stadium, holds about 50,000 people. And the concert will also feature English singer-songwriter Callum Scott, who happened to have played a solo gig in Bangkok last year as part of his Bridge Tour. So if any of those musicians are your particular vibe, then you know where to go. Just looking out across the Andaman Sea, we've got absolutely no wind at the moment. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be ending up in that later today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand. Please subscribe to the channel. A big thanks to our sponsor, 5starmarinephuket.com. We'll see you tomorrow.